Hello there! Finally back in England. Actually, I came back Saturday morning. Where am I? Guess where I'm going? I'm going for a colonic cleanse, just like I said I would. You know, get all that poison, all that extra food I had in Egypt. So, here we are. Don't worry, I'll document it all. Lovely. So tomorrow morning you'll see a video of me having a colonic cleanse at Susan Briggs. Alright guys, I'm sure you look forward to seeing that. So you come in with the car here, and then look at that. Into the garage, so discreet and nicely, and then shuts the doors. It's all yours. Here, open the door.
Hi.
Hiya.
Hi.
Alright, shoes off. Up the stairs. Check out this setup. It's so lovely here. And she's a Reiki master as well. Here we go. You get to see all the goodies in a minute. In the bathroom here, gonna get changed. Obviously you're not gonna see all them goodies, but I'll show you in a minute. Hold on. Alright. I got the skirt on. Obviously I'm not going to show you all the goodies. That's just for my wife. Right, here we go.
It's nothing you worry. So no change in bowel habits?
No.
Nothing you're worried about? No concerns?
No, not
No
really. I just feel a little bit,
no...
feel a little bit inflamed, kind of, because I've been
Yeah.
eating lots and lots of goody food in Egypt.
Okay.
So, and I haven't been to see you for a while. So
Right, okay.
it's time.
So just a little bit of discomfort, bit of bloating.
Yeah.
Are you sort of gassy or anything like that?
Not
or...
really. Not
No,
really.
just
No.
feel a little bit...
Yeah.
Bit tender.
I'm not really a gassy person, to be honest.
Honestly? Right,
Right.
so have a little feel of your tummy first of all. So let's get you sat on the couch. Just untuck that.
Yeah.
Ooh, you got yourself all tucked up.
Oops, sorry.
So if you lay on the couch on your back first of all, and just have a little feel of your tummy. So keep those legs bent up for me. Got nice brown legs from your holiday.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, just move down the couch just a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Get you all comfy. Okay.
Oh, thank you. That's comfy.
Right, let's just lift you up.
All right.
Okay, so just have a little feel of your tummy first of all. So just relax for me.
Yeah. Can you feel all that food from Egypt?
I can feel all that food from Egypt. I hope it was nice food.
It was actually, but you know, I missed Swedish kitchen food. I've just been for a meal as well, just before I come here.
Oh my goodness,
I
not
couldn't.
very good colonic prep then, really, is it?
I couldn't
eh?
help myself.
Have you been drinking plenty of fluids though? Plenty of water and...
Yeah, I do drink a lot of water
Okay,
anyway.
cool.
Probably about 3 litres a day, I would say.
So onto your left side for me. So I'll start you off on your side first of all initially.
I've done a little shave for you as well. Not too
Oh,
much hair for you.
lovely. Always good to hear.
I try to anyway. The machine.
Right, let's get this pack out.
Oh. Don't worry guys, the pipe is not that big.
It's actually quite small. It's not very big really. Not as big as what people imagine it is.
No,
And it's actually really quite a gentle treatment, isn't it?
might be disappointing for some people, but you know.
Right, let's just put a little bit of that on.
Obviously I'll get lubed up before.
Right. So just put the water in that okay. So when did you arrive back?
I came back Saturday morning, like Friday night about 3 o'clock I landed.
Good flight.
Yeah, it was alright, a bit windy actually.
Was it?
Yeah, so a bit shaky, and I don't like flying too much, you know. It's kind of out of your control, isn't it?
It
Once
is
you're-
very true. I must admit, I don't do. I'm okay with flying. It's just the turbulent side of things that I'm always a little bit nervous about. I must admit. on the whole, I don't worry too much. Right, so just go right on your side for me, then bend your knees up to your tummy. That's it, lovely.
Alright guys, here we go.
So I'm just going to pop a little bit of cream on there.
Yep.
Just to very, very gently. So it does feel a little bit cold, this cream. So just stay nice and relaxed for me. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to very gently pop the speculum in now.
And there we go.
So just stay nice and relaxed for me. Brilliant. Well done.
Only joking guys.
That's the worst bit done. Well done. Right, I'm going to attach the waist point now. So, there we go. Keep you covered over.
Oh.
Right.
Susan, why is it good to have a colonic cleanse?
Well, colonics are really, really good for a number of things, really. It's not just about flushing waste out of your system like people assume it is. It's really good for people that have IBS issues because it very gently cleanses and detoxes the whole system. So if, for instance, somebody has IBS-C, which is IBS constipation, it can really help obviously to soften the stools down to make it easy for release, but it also stimulates the vagus nerve, which is very important for the whole digestive system because it stimulates the rest and digest mode of the body, if you like. So it really helps to relax a person and help them to detox the system. But breathing's really important also with a colonic treatment because if a person keeps herself very, very tense, then the body doesn't release. So you need to release and relax and release and relax, and it just works that way. So they're just really good for cleansing, really deeply cleansing the whole system. Because over time, you can, believe it or not, build up quite a bit of waste, quite a bit of backup in there. So say, for instance, if you are lucky enough to go to the toilet every day, twice a day, the average person can still hold or carry between 2 and 9 kilos of waste in their colon, which is a lot of toxic waste.
The whole life.
Yeah. So if you imagine your bowel, your large bowel is actually 5 feet long. Just going to do a very gentle fill now. So your large bowel is actually 5 feet long. And if you are lucky enough to go to the toilet every day, twice a day, you see my picture of my colon there on the wall, you're possibly only releasing about that much of waste from your colon. So what it does, it allows them room for more waste to sort of work its way round and down, because your rectum is actually 20 centimetres long as well, so that can hold quite a lot of poop in there. And as that moves down and stimulates the little sphincter muscles, that's what gives you the sensation that you want to have a bowel movement. So then you'll release your bowels, and then it allows room then for more waste to move and work its way down. But the reason why a lot of people feel very, very bloated or get quite constipated is they get a lot of gas trapped in here, the transverse bit of the colon. And one of the biggest culprits of that, of trapped gas, is eating your food too quickly, because it creates a lot of air bubbles that then get trapped in the colon here. Or fizzy drinks, carbonated drinks, and that does include water. I hate to say it, people, because all those little gas bubbles like to work their way down your system. So they go all through the small intestine, work their way into the large bowel, and then we'll end up getting trapped along there. And then you can get a backup of stools, which can then cause really bad constipation.
So actually carbonated water and carbonated drinks is not
The worst thing
great
to
things.
have.
Yeah, that's why I never drink them. I only drink water.
Yeah, water's the best thing to have. Water, herbal tea. I have a lot of clients actually that drink carbonated water, thinking they're being really super healthy, but you're actually not. You know, you want to have it as a bit of a treat, really, because it's not very good for the digestive system.
It's acidic as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but like I say, chewing your food too quickly is the worst thing as well, because if you imagine you inhale your food so like that when you're eating, you're taking a lot of air at the same time, which then works its way through the digestive system as well. So more mindful eating, people. Chew your food more efficiently. It's really, really important that you do.
Difficult for me because I got no bloody teeth in there. Well, I get my fake teeth in a few days.
Oh, bless you. How's that feeling so far?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
It's all right,
good.
yeah.
I love Henrik. He's always very calm and relaxed. He's really good.
Yeah, you know, I'm a lot for my health, and I'm giving people my health tips. You know, like
that's good.
every morning I have shilajit in the morning.
Good.
A hot cup of shilajit.
Brilliant.
And then straight after that I have 2 capsules of oregano oil.
Yeah.
And I used to have warts and stuff.
Yeah.
And nothing worked for that. But as soon as I started using oregano oil, all gone.
Really?
All cleared up.
That's amazing.
And then I have to have Celtic salt before I drink
Brilliant.
water.
Good. Yeah. Celtic
and then,
salt's good.
Methylene blue, and you know, you name it, I have it all at home. But
Yeah.
I do it kind of not all at once. I do a bit now, a bit then, and ashwagandha and all that. But
No,
yeah,
that's
I
good.
do.
That's really good.
I do try.
Celtic salt's really, really good actually. I do try and encourage my clients to have a bit of Celtic salt every day in the water first thing, because it's a really good way of absorbing a lot of important minerals into your system.
Yeah.
But it also makes sure that your system stays hydrated and you retain some of the water you're drinking, because your colon, people, actually needs 1.5 litres of water every day to keep it nice and moist.
Really?
And actively working. So if your fluid intake isn't even anywhere near 2 litres, where do you think your colon gets its moisture from? Where's it going to suck it from? It's going to draw it from your body, but it's also going to suck it back out of your stools, believe it or not. So what that means is you'll have a lovely moist stool in your colon, and then if you're not drinking enough fluids, your colon's going to suck all that moisture back from your poop, and then that's all going to recirculate around your system, around your body, and that's why people start to get sluggish, get headaches, brain fog, you name it.
Depression, all sorts.
Yeah. So it's really, really important you keep yourself hydrated and you detox your system regularly as well. Really, really is. So important.
And you know, we do have a lot of parasites in the body. People don't actually know about it, but we do have a lot of parasites, and they are obviously creates a lot of diseases, and cancer and whatnot. And so when we finish emptying my bowel here, we're going to push some parasite cleanse as well in, please.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't aware actually that have IBS, that can sometimes be triggered by a bout of food poisoning. So if you've had a bout of food poisoning, obviously that is a parasite. So over time you can then develop IBS. So that's another reason, if you've ever had food poisoning, have a colonic, get your system detoxed and give it a good reset.
Yeah, stop getting pills from the doctor, I would say. But that's my personal point of view. You know, there's better ways of curing yourself than going to the pharmaceuticals.
Well, I always say, Henrik, there's a place for everything. You know, there's obviously Western medicine sometimes is really, really good, but as controversial as it is, as I always say, you show me a person that's on prescription meds that ever becomes well, because you normally end up having another medication to counteract and balance out the medication that you're already taking. So what does that tell you, people? Eh? Not always that good, are they, prescription meds?
I mean, it's a plaster, isn't it? It's a plaster and a plaster and a plaster.
That's it, exactly. Yeah, just putting the band-aid on it. You're not actually getting to the root cause of the problem. And a lot of people's problems really develop from stress, lifestyle and stress, eating too much over-processed food and high stress and anxiety levels. Right, I'm just going to put some herbs in now to draw a little bit of that gas out first of all. There's a little bit gassy in there, so we're just going to put some gentle herbs in to draw that gas out. And these herbs are actually named deflators.
I don't actually fart that often. That's probably why there's lots of gas in there.
be, could well be. So we're just going to put some herbs in now to just pull that gas out for you. And then we'll get you round onto your tummy and start to give your tummy a bit of a massage.
I'm going to pause it a little bit.
So how's the kiddies? Did they enjoy the holiday?
Lovely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going on the scales when I get home. I'll probably lose, if I'm lucky, maybe 3-4 kilos. So if you want to lose weight quickly, this is the one for you.
That said, I do have to say we have to be really, really careful about promoting weight loss. Now obviously you will lose a degree of weight because you're removing a lot of waste from your system. So we never encourage, years ago I think they actually did used to weigh people before they had a colonic treatment and then weighed them afterwards so they could see, you know, they have actually lost weight. But obviously you are going to be lighter because you've wasted a lot of poop from your colon. But we're very mindful nowadays of people with eating disorders, etc., and things like that. So you can't actually sort of suggest or promote that it, you know, causes weight loss, because obviously we don't want people to start using colonics as a way of losing weight. But that said, a lot of ladies do often come for a colonic before a night out, or if they've got an event or something, because they want to get that flat tummy to look better in the dress or feel more comfortable in the dress. Right, how are those herbs feeling, Enrique? All right? Yeah?
Yeah,
All
good.
Just hold on to those.
Yeah, I always feel relaxed here. You know, Susan is such a lovely person. She makes you feel really relaxed. She's got some lovely smells going on here as well. Make it really cozy, you know. You can make it cozy as well.
Just hold those in for a few minutes and then we'll massage tummy. Henrique's very good though. He always stays lovely and relaxed for me, which makes a big difference. So, and this proves that colonics are not just for females. Lots of men have colonics also, which is great, because colon cancer is on the increase, and this month is colon cancer and IBS awareness month. So we have been promoting some facts about IBS and colon cancer, and statistically wise, about 90% of the UK population over the age of 50 at some point may develop colon cancer. But those numbers of younger people are now on the increase as well, unfortunately, and it's not uncommon for people below the age of 15 to develop colon cancer, which is why it's really important to keep an eye on your bowel habits, and any changes, go to your doctor and get it checked out. But with all new clients, what we do when we have a new client, we do something called a DRE examination before we start the treatment, and basically what that means is we very gently insert a finger into the rectum of the client, and if it's the male, we'll check the prostate as well. So if there's anything untoward or if it's slightly enlarged, we can then let our client know to go and get it checked out by the GP. We also check for any internal hemorrhoids or anything like that, or any other problems. Or worst case scenario, I do know Linda, who's the owner of the Just for Tummies brand, who used to be a colonic hydrotherapist herself. She had a young client in his 20s at one stage when she was doing treatment still as a therapist, and when she did his DRE, she did notice a slight lump on the inside of his anal canal, and suggested he go and get it checked out by his GP, which she did, and sadly it did turn out to be cancer, and unfortunately that young man did pass away. So, as I say, colonics are not just about flushing poop out of your bottom. We do check for other things as well, or we can make people aware of anything that we feel that may be a bit untoward in there. So you can tell quite a bit from a colonic. Right, Henrik, if you come round onto your back for me, so very slowly lift your bottom as you turn yourself around, and keep your legs up like that for me.
Almost like giving birth here.
So a lot more gentle and relaxed than giving birth, I can assure you, people. Let's massage that tummy. So what else can we tell from a colonic? Well, we can also tell quite a lot from the colour of people's stools, believe it or not. So if your stools are quite pale, that can be an indication that you've got some congestion in your gallbladder, or there might be something going on with your gallbladder. If, say for instance, if your stools were very dark, very tarry looking, that can be an indication that there could be some bleeding internally there. So again, that can be another indication that there's something untoward going on, and it's something to get checked out by your GP. If a person has, oh, you're just about to have a great release there. That's some of Henrique's Egyptian food now releasing from his colon beautifully. So another thing we can tell from people's stools consistency, if they have what we call champagne bubbles in the waste pipe, and it's quite frothy, that can be an indication of a candida overgrowth. So candida is something we all naturally have in the body, but sometimes if we have a lot of sugar in the diet, so that yeast is over fermenting a little bit, if you like, it can create a candida overgrowth, and then that can make the stools quite frothy, and it's quite hard to bring it back into normal ranges if you do have candida issues. And one of the indications of that tends to be a recurrent thrush orally, or itchiness around the anus, things like that, or soreness around there. So you can tell quite a bit, people, from the consistency of your poop. So if you want to know if your stools are in normal ranges, if you Google the Bristol stool chart, what is depicted as the perfect poo is number 4 on a Bristol stool chart. If your stools resemble type 1 or type 2, that's chronic constipation, and that's not normal. And that means that you either don't drink enough fluids, or your diet's not particularly the best. Now, another thing we can tell from clients, and we always know if they're fibbing about their diets to us, when they have their colonic, on the waste pipe, if you have a high fat diet or high fat concentrated diet, a lot of saturated fats, fast foods, etc., it'll leave quite a sticky residue on the waste pipe, quite an oily kind of consistency on the waste pipe. So we can sort of tell if someone's diet's not particularly healthy as well. So never fib to your therapist about what your diet's really like, because we know.
You can't lie to Susan, she knows.
We can tell it all. But another good thing I like to say to clients though, especially clients that I see that have had trauma in their life, a lot of trauma in their life, when a client feels safe, because we like to create an environment where they feel safe to open up and talk if they want to, and release a lot of pent-up emotions, etc. I mean, I have had clients cry before now on the couch, but this is really good when they're letting go of all those emotions, pent-up emotions, because as I say to my clients sometimes, when you're releasing verbally and you're letting all those emotions out, you're releasing down below also, so you're getting all of that pent-up upset, anger, frustration, whatever it may be, out of your system. So it really is very, very beneficial. So it's not, as I say, it's not just about cleaning out your colon, it's a release of emotions, it's a release of lots of things, really. It really is. And I hope all my clients feel that they're in a safe environment here, and I hold the space for them so they feel that they can open up and talk about anything they want to. As you did, Enrique, with the first time you ever came, didn't you? Bless you.
Lovely.
You really did.
And my dad used to come here now. I bet you he used to talk loads of shit to you.
Oh, I loved your dad. He was, I miss him. I do miss him. Your dad was awesome.
Yeah.
He was great. Bless him.
He's still with me though. He comes to visit me sometimes in the house.
That's nice. That is nice. He used to bring me sweets, you know, bless him.
Did he?
Yeah, he was so lovely. So lovely.
Yeah, he he converted me into coming here. So obviously, a lot of people are scared about this because it's, I don't know, just one of them things, isn't it?
Well, I think because it's a very private, and it is an incredibly private area that we're dealing with, I think people assume that they're sort of going to be exposed to the world, you know, but you're not. It is very dignified because you are covered over the whole time.
Yeah.
And we literally see your bottom for a couple of seconds. That's all it is while we're popping the speculum in. But then you are covered over the whole time, and it is very dignified. And it's actually quite relaxing. I have one client, believe it or not, people, who falls asleep through her colonic treatments. And I remember the very first time it ever happened. This lady does a lot of yoga, though, and meditation, so she's very in tune with herself and very relaxed. Didn't warn me that it's not uncommon for her to fall asleep during the colonic treatment. And I hadn't been sort of qualified very long when I practiced. And we're chatting away during the treatment. Halfway through, silence, complete silence. I turned around, look at her, and I thought, oh my God, I've killed my client. She's passed away on my couch. I had a nanosecond of panicking, and I actually woke her up feeling for a pulse. And then when she came round, she said, oh God, I'm so sorry, I forgot to tell you. Yes, it's not uncommon for me to fall asleep during a treatment. And now I just know it's her norm, that's what she does. So believe it or not, it's that relaxing. Some people actually do fall asleep during a treatment.
That sounds like there's a lot of stuff in my tummy.
There is a lot of waste actually coming out today. I think you've been storing this in your legs.
Yeah, I've been a bit
Good.
naughty.
It's all good. It's all coming out. And as you say, how often do you go to the toilet? There's a bit of gas there. How often do you go to the toilet?
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Yeah.
And you're still releasing quite a lot.
Well, I have one, every morning I have one,
Yeah.
a lovely one, and then I will have one in the evening as well.
Fantastic. That's what you should be aiming for, people. Twice a day, ideally.
And it helps drinking a lot of water and
Yeah.
shilajit and the oregano oil, I have to say,
Yeah.
really gets my bowels moving in the morning.
Yeah.
The hot water, obviously.
Hot water. Do you have a slice of lemon in it in the morning? First thing, slice of lemon. Any hot
I
water?
used to have lemon and what's that called?
Celtic salt.
Celtic salt, yeah, but I drink that. Now I have a hot cup of shilajit.
Yeah.
So, and then I have Celtic salt, and then I drink water. And
You see, I have what I call the healthy margarita. So that's the hot water with a slice of lemon and a bit of Celtic salt first thing in the morning, just to kick-start the digestive system. It's a great way of kick-starting it off.
turmeric, that's what I was going to say. I used to have turmeric.
Turmeric, yeah, that's another good one.
But I like to kind of switch things around a little bit. But what would you say is the best for the morning to get your bowels moving?
Hot water. Definitely
water,
hot
yeah.
water with the lemon in, I have to say. And the thing is, I think a lot more people really could improve their health if they went down the more holistic route. So my husband, for instance, was on dreaded statins because his cholesterol was 5.6, which I don't think is particularly high, but they thought it was high. So they popped him on statins, and I was like, no, we're going to get you off of those. Don't want you being on those. So my husband also is asthmatic, and every year he usually ends up with a chronic chest infection and will end up on a course of antibiotics, which completely destroy your gut microbiome, so they're not ideal at all. Antibiotics are great, but they do destroy everything in your gut. So what we started to do with my hubby is every morning he drinks his gloop, as he calls it, which is lemons, limes, garlic, cayenne pepper, turmeric and ginger, all boiled up in a big pot. Then we let it cool down and then mash it all down, put it through a very fine sieve, and then let it cool down and keep it in the fridge. He drinks that every morning with his shilajit in it. And also has a bit of Celtic salt, and some greens supplements. You've probably seen Real Greens, that's probably about the best one, Real Greens. Has that every day, and I kid you not people, this has been the first winter ever, the one just gone, that he has not had a chest infection, not had a cold, not had anything wrong at all. And more importantly, his cholesterol has come right down now, and it's only 4.8 when he had his last bloods done. And we've naturally lowered it. Obviously diet as well has played a big part in it. And my husband also has the colonic 4 times a year as well for detox reasons. So you can actually improve your health holistically with natural remedies. Because herbs and spices was one of the first medications out there for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's like milk thistle. Hope you all take milk thistle. Best way to keep the liver detoxed and cleansed naturally. Take milk thistle every day.
Oh, okay.
Really, really good for detoxing the liver, milk thistle. So your liver is your body's fat burning engine realistically, and over time our liver becomes very congested. So if you sort of imagine everything you eat, everything you drink, any medication you take, your liver has to process and detoxify it out of your body. So if you then throw alcohol into the mix occasionally, your liver will concentrate on detoxing and getting the alcohol out of your system first before anything else. So then what happens is it forgets about all the other congestion. So over time, if your diet's not particularly healthy, that's when you can develop a non-alcoholic fatty liver. And it's quite hard then to sort of get that down and get it into normal ranges. So again, obviously you have to, you know, look at your diet, make diet changes. But milk thistle is one of the best things to have. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. You can take it in liquid or supplement form, and it just very gently detoxes and cleanses the liver every day. It's one of the best things out there, because when your liver's congested, it will affect your metabolism as well. And that's why ladies especially find it difficult to lose weight when your liver's a little bit blocked up, a little bit congested, because obviously we have all those hormonal changes going on as well with periods and polycystic ovaries and menopause and endo, you name it. You get all these big hormonal dumpings in your liver, and that will congest your liver. So you need to give it a little bit of TLC now and again. Even you, Henrique, give your liver a bit of TLC now and again with some milk thistle.
I'm listening, and I'm going to start taking milk thistle as well.
Yeah. How's that tummy feeling? All right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I think, yes, a lot better.
Good.
But I definitely needed to get that stuff out. Definitely.
Well, you've still got waste coming out now. Still, it's a shame, really. Your hand's there. My hand's one on the pipe, one on your belly. Otherwise, I'd film what's been released out of you, because there is quite a lot coming out. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, but you know, when you just know, I just felt like
I
need
a cleanse.
I need a cleanse. And then now, obviously, I can put all the good stuff in. Because when that's blocked up, sometimes even though you put good stuff in, it doesn't really reach where it needs to go.
No.
Am I correct?
Yeah. Well, and it's like I explained to you, it's because when you bit bunged up across, so that's the transverse part of your colon there. So your stomach comes down and goes like that and sits about there, and then you've got your liver there. When this is full of gas and poop, it stretches the colon. So if you imagine when you eat and your stomach then sort of sags down, if it's hitting here, it will bloat out, because this is quite full of gas and quite hard. So that's why a lot of people say when they've eaten they feel really, really bloated and their tummy really pops out. It's normally because that bit across there is full of gas, a lot of gas, or they'll get pain on this side. When we examine people's abdomens before the treatment, sometimes they say they feel pain here. That's because that part of the colon actually kinks around like that slightly. So if you get a gas bubble sort of trapped around there, it can cause quite a bit of discomfort and pain sometimes. It can be quite difficult to move it around. That's like when you sit on the toilet, people, did you know your knees should always be higher than your hips? So if you imagine if you're sitting on the toilet and you've got your feet flat on the floor like that, a poo has to work its way around a bend almost, like an S bend to get out. If you tilt your legs slightly, so if you've got your feet propped on a stool, so that's your knees, if you like, and your feet are like that, that angle then is the correct angle to have your bowels open. That's why in a lot of countries you have the squatty potty hole on the floor. If
Like
you
they had in Egypt.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the perfect way, really is the perfect position to have a poop in.
Okay, so you should actually have like a little. My kids have a little stool,
Footstool.
so you put your feet on the
Pop
stool.
your feet on that, yeah.
I forgot that,
Yeah.
but now I'm going to do that.
And another really good tip as well, if you do suffer with constipation, do not sit on the toilet too long and force it out, because that's the quickest way to create hemorrhoids for one thing, because that pressure going down into the rectum, pushing down, can create hemorrhoids, and you also risk tearing the anus, so you don't want to do that. So if after a few minutes you haven't had any movement, get off. Don't sit for too long. It's the worst thing to do. And it can also weaken the pelvic floor muscles as well. So, and that's another important thing as well, especially for you ladies. Make sure you always keep that pelvic floor nice and tight and active, because over time, especially when we go through the menopause, it starts to weaken, because it's a little bit like a hammock, your pelvic floor, it's a muscle, a bit like a hammock. So over time that can actually become a little bit weak. So it's really important you do your pelvic floor exercises. Otherwise, you'll notice when you sort of do have bowel movements and things, it just doesn't feel quite right. So do your pelvic floors, and men as well actually should do the pelvic floors. Pilates, best thing for that, engaging that core, really, really good.
Pelvic floor exercises. Well, it's like when you strengthen your core, you mean? Or
Yeah. So with your pelvic floor, you sort of have to. It's really, you have to engage. So a lot of people suck their tummy in, but it's not. You have to live like the muscles down there. You've got to suck them in, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do a breathing exercise as well?
Yeah. It's really important to keep that pelvic floor nice and strong, because that's why over time a lot of people end up with a prolapse rectum, and women a lot of the time, unfortunately, they'll have a prolapse vagina, which is not very nice, and you can also get a prolapse bladder as well. So it's really important you keep that pelvic floor nice and tight and toned.
I like that massage. I need to get Millie to do that.
What's that?
I need to get my wife to do this massage.
Do the massage.
Nice.
It's good. Honestly, it's a great one to do as well. If you do, if anyone ever does suffer with constipation and what have you, doing an abdominal massage can really, really help to move things along, help to break the stools down as well. Or rub a bit of castor oil in your abdomen. That's a really great way of helping to break the stools down as well.
I shove that down everyone's throat. That's the only thing I use. Castor oil. I use castor oil. Don't use the poisonous everything they use. That's the only thing I use. And even now, when the mosquitoes feasted on me in Egypt,
Mosquitoes in Egypt, really?
Yeah, they always feast on me wherever I go. I've been told because I'm so sweet. But yeah, they feast on me, and castor oil takes away that that itching.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need to keep putting it on.
Yeah.
But I find that castor oil is very healing for you.
Oh, it is.
In many
great.
ways.
Oh, castor oil is brilliant. It really, really is. I mean, garlic. You should eat garlic before you go away. If you've got some, or take garlic capsules if you're worried about it making your breath smell, because mozzies don't like garlic. So if you eat, have a lot of garlic before you go away, they're less inclined to feast on you then.
Oh, see, you live and learn.
Yeah.
Something new every day.
Always, because I can remember years ago, we went to Italy once and they had the worst mosquito infestation they'd had in about 10 years, I think it was. I got absolutely savaged. I was so poorly. And one of my friends, it's a naturopathic, holistic nutritionist, said you need to have lots and lots of garlic before you go away because they absolutely hate garlic, mozzies.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to go home and eat garlic. I bet you Miller will love that.
It'll stop those mozzies feasting on you. Right. Just have another little release and just let that pass, and then we'll put your parasitic enema in.
Woohoo! See, what's that? It's about half an hour. About half an hour as well, and I had a lot of stuff in there as well, guys.
Yeah, you did. I mean, sometimes if people come for a treatment the very first time, it can sometimes take about an hour for the colonic, because say if you're very constipated, for instance, it can sometimes take a good 20 minutes of soaking the stool before anything starts to release. But because your diet's healthy,
Ish.
your fluid intake's really, really good as well, which makes a huge difference. So you've been releasing right from the start of your treatment, so you wouldn't necessarily have to have a treatment as long as what somebody else normally would. Everybody's different, everybody's body is different, and everybody's colon is different, and everybody's colon reacts differently to a colonic treatment. So usually subsequent treatments for a regular client, they're probably looking at 45 minutes for the treatment itself, and then obviously time on the toilet afterwards. But for new clients, as I say, it can be an hour 15 minutes. But obviously they'll have the consultation first as well, which should be about half an hour, to give them time to relax and ask any questions or for us to go over any concerns they may have.
And why is it good again to put parasite cleanse in? I mean, I think I know, but I'll rather hear it from you, Susan.
Well, a lot of us, like you say, have parasites in us that we're probably very, very unaware. A lot of the time, they won't cause any problems or issues, but as I say, more often than not, if you've had a bout of food poisoning, which is a parasite, that can really upset the whole microbiome in the gut and really imbalance everything. So a good cleanse is really good, like a colon cleanse is really good after a bout of food poisoning or illness. And a parasitic cleanse is just a really good way of ensuring that everything's sort of killed off in there, because parasites have different hatching stages. So they're a little bit like head lice. So you have the eggs and then you have the actual worms or the parasites themselves, and they all have different hatching stages. So by introducing a parasitic enema, you'll lay on your side for about sort of 10 to 15 minutes while your colon absorbs that parasitic enema, and it will just make sure it kills off any little nasties in there after your treatment. But one of the first signs for parasites is usually, more often than not, people have very loose stools. You will have very, very loose bowels. Then it's very often accompanied with itching around the anus, and then obviously with little children, as we know, if they pick up worms, you see the little white wiggly things in their poo, or they'll come out of their bottom at night. But you can pick up parasites off your pets if you don't.
How do they actually come out of your bottom at night?
Yeah, you know the little, I can't think of the medical term for worms now for little children, but when they get the little white parasites, the little worms, you can actually see them. They're like tiny little white wiggly things. You see them in the poop, and they're more active at the night time. They'll come out, and children tend to get very itchy bottoms at night. So if you catch a child scratching their bottom a lot at night, check their poo to see if they've got any little parasites in there. Right, do you want to go onto your side for me?
Yep.
And we'll go right round for me. That's it, lovely. And then we'll get that. Oh God, I can see your legs where they
There you go.
beat your legs now. They really did have a savage on your legs, didn't they?
Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah.
And that's like over my whole body. I was bumpy all over my body. And they're literally, and the last night, they're like, "Come on, guys, last night, get him!" And they were just sucking me dry. I'll tell you. And you know, when you come home, you feel bites that you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are bad.
garlic. That's the thing, guys. Garlic.
Garlic, lots and lots of garlic. Yeah, yeah. I hate it. Anything citronella as well. Lemon. That's another good one. Rub lemon on your legs.
I had a bottle I was meant to spray on my body,
Yeah.
but they didn't seem to have any problem with that.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe you should just have raw lemon and do it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's better.
That's what I do. It's a bit sticky, but it works. It is good. But they are little blighters, the old mozzies. They really are.
And that there, that's a parasite.
That's it. Parasite cleanse there. Going to introduce that into his colon. And hold that in there. Ooh, just another little release.
This would be like an hour-long documentary, but you know what? It's important that you know, and don't get scared about these things. It's so important. And obviously, when you want to do something good for yourself, normally it comes with a price, doesn't it? A little bit of a price. Uncomfortable.
Well, I think, you know, nowadays I think more and more people are really understanding the whole importance of the digestive health, the gut-brain axis, and your gut is really your brain. So your gut's your brain, if you like, and there's a nerve that connects the gut and the brain, the vagus nerve. So they actually talk, they communicate to each other. Now, if your gut's out of balance and all that lovely friendly bacteria in your gut or flora is out of balance, and the sort of things that can knock it out of balance is high stress levels, anxiety, bout of illness, lack of sleep, all these things can affect the gut's microbiome. If your gut is out of sorts and everything's out of balance, it will massively impact on your mood. So if a person suffers with depression, for instance, and your gut's out of balance and all that microbiome's out of balance, your depression's going to be more heightened. If you suffer with anxiety, your anxiety is going to be more heightened. So it's really important to get that gut nice and happy, keep it all happy. So good nutrition, good hydration, lots of sleep, and try and keep those stress levels down. Really important. How's this feeling now?
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
Good. A lot of Swedish kitchen, guys. Don't forget that.
Swedish kitchen is very healthy. I've seen his videos. He does very healthy food, lots of salad and stuff.
At least some of it. At least some of it. Yeah. You know, I make most of it myself, so I do. You know.
Nice, good. I love your little videos when you do them. They're good. I did see the one actually of your workers though having time of their life while you're on holiday.
They were loving life one day. I'm back now.
Oh, good.
Now soon the Swedish kitchen will be all over the country. It's
really?
Yeah, the franchise model is almost ready. I have this big management team taking it over.
Fantastic.
And, yeah, I will soon get a big lump sum in my bank, and it will be all over England.
Happy days.
So then my next project is opening a healing centre.
Really? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, that's my dream, and so my wife as well. So we're buying land, and then obviously, and it'll probably be within 10 years, I would say. I'll be able to do that. But yeah, and then I'm opening a healing centre.
Wow.
So I've done advanced crystal healing now, and then I've done Reiki and breath work, and I'm reading this book. I don't know if you read it. Donna Eden. It's about energy healing, all of lymphatic massaging, and all the different points, and you know, the K27 points, and all these, and I'm just soaking it all up, you know, all the information to kind of make it my own, you know.
Well, that's another thing as well. You see, lymphatic system is a really important part of detoxification in the body, but unlike the heart, your lymphatic system doesn't have its own pump.
Yeah.
So the lymph fluid circulates around the body, and then eventually the natural detoxification processes, you'll urinate it or you'll go out in your stools, etc. But over time, if people don't exercise or breathing, even breath work, so important for the lymphatic system because it stimulates it. So it's a really important way of detoxification as well in the body, but because it doesn't have its own pump, that's why it's really important that you do regular exercise to stimulate it, or every so often go for lymphatic massage where they'll sort of pump the main nodes. You'll do your breath work first, they'll pump the main nodes and then they'll sort of gently stroke the body and move all that lymph fluid out, so it then starts to detox from the system.
I heard that it sits in your spinal a lot, and I do a lot of spinal flushes on my wife. I'm practicing at her.
Yeah.
You know, because it does take away if you becoming ill or whatever. It does make a difference to kind of massage down your spine and then push it down.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not even near being finished learning, but I am slowly learning. And like resetting your energy system, you know, like by tapping certain points and and it really does work, you know.
Yeah, it does. Well, tapping is really good for people with anxiety when they tap.
Yeah.
Like that on there and on there, there. So
you have these 2 points here, these two K27
tap
points.
them and then and it helps to calm the nervous system down, and it's really good for anxiety. That is really good. That's fantastic. You're doing all that.
And also sound bowls, you know, because I spoke to you about it, and I remember you told me you had this experience.
Oh, I love it.
And I went for, after that,
Did you?
I think I went to somebody who was just starting up, and I didn't get that. You know, when you're looking for that, because I was like, when you told me you had that.
Yeah, amazing. It's like almost an out-of-body experience is the only way I could describe it the first time I had one. It was incredible. It really was. It was I love it. I love a sound bath.
And now I have the whole set at home. I got all the big bowls, but I'm getting to that next to learn that.
Brilliant.
So, it takes time, doesn't it?
It does.
And then you have to make it your own.
Yeah.
You know, you learn it and then you make it your own. And then, but I'm really excited about that, you know. Because I believe that's why we're here, to help each other, to heal,
absolutely.
to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I'm a real believer in energy, and, you know, I think what you put out into the world, you'll receive, you know, so always be kind to people, and, you know, everyone has a story, everyone has a history, never judge people.
No,
you know, always
everyone.
be kind to people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'll be honest, I was very, very sceptical about energy work and energy healing until I did have my first sound bath session, and that completely opened my eyes, really, really did. Really changed my whole, you know, perception on everything, really. Then I started to go to deep meditation sessions once a month. There's a lovely lady called Alison Francis who does meditation, which is amazing. And my sound bath now, I have one-to-one sessions with a lovely lady called Ashley at Mandaloon Therapies. She's amazing. And it's really good. Really helps to rebalance everything, really rebalance all your energy points, and you just feel amazing afterwards. So if you ever feel a little bit out of sync, like if any of you ever feel a little bit emotional or a little bit sort of all over the place, especially when there's a full moon, that's usually when all your energy points are possibly rebalancing themselves. So it's really good to then have a sound bath healing session or go to a meditation session to just help rebalance everything. Really does really help. It's great.
Or the crystals.
Crystals,
I use
absolutely. Yeah, another great one. Crystals. Yeah, I have crystals everywhere. I love my crystals.
Yeah, my whole house is full of them. You wouldn't even imagine. I got them everywhere. And they're in my cafe as well. Big amethyst crystals. You know, to kind of set the mood in there.
And it does. Yeah.
And if you're carrying something negative, you can't even get into my cafe. And that is the truth. I've obviously put stones everywhere, and some people come to the cafe and they don't even come inside the door. And that is a fact. They come to the door and then they stand there, and then they're not aware of it themselves.
Yeah.
But they don't come in, and they walk off because that's my belief anyway. They're carrying something.
Well, my lady that does the deep meditation that I go to, incense. You know incense.
Yeah.
So apparently, if you love the smell of incense, you've got good energy, really high vibration, really good energy. People that really don't like the smell of incense, they'll be like, you know, really think it's not a very nice, pleasant smell, usually carry quite bad energy with them. So you find that. So I very often burn incense. I cleanse the room, sage it sometimes before I start, go around with my little Tibetan sound bowls, give it all a good cleanse everywhere, get my crystals out. And I usually burn incense as well. And if I have new clients come in, they'll either say, oh my God, that smells amazing. And then very occasionally someone will be like, oh God, that smells awful. What is it? And I'll just say, oh, nothing much. Just cleanse the room a little bit. And sometimes those clients have usually got a bit of a story to tell. And there's usually, I'd say, a bit of deep-rooted trauma there, a bit of history, you know.
Yeah. And then she kicks you out.
No, then we flush it out of the system and I leave here completely cleansed.
Yeah.
And everything all realigned. How's that feeling?
Yeah,
all
good.
Right, good.
Good. Very good, actually. I'm joking, guys. I have to make a little bit joke about it, you know.
Yeah, it is.
It's very relaxing, you know.
I mean, obviously, you're aware of something in your bottom. You can feel something in your bottom, but I think people imagine it's going to be painful or really uncomfortable. The only time, actually, that it's ever uncomfortable, I'll be honest, people, is if you have a lot of trapped gas in there. So your colon, when the colonic happens and the water flows into the colon, it stimulates the colon's peristalsis movement, which is like a wave motion like that, gently stimulates that and sort of tickles the inside of the colon wall. If you've got a lot of gas in your colon, as it's then trying to move and work its way around and that water's stimulating your colon, so your colon's very active and it's squeezing it along, that can sometimes cause a very mild bit of cramping. So for ladies, it's a little bit like a very mild kind of period pain. But once you've released that gas and you've sort of let it all go, it stops, it will calm down. But if that ever does happen with clients, we can put some herbs in to calm and soothe that peristalsis down so that it's not too crampy and it's much gentler then on the colon. So it should never, ever, ever be uncomfortable, your colonic treatment. And I think the most important thing I always say to any clients, especially new ones, if at any point you're really not comfortable, you don't like it, or you just feel it's too weird, because it's really difficult to explain what a colonic actually feels like until you have a colonic treatment done. But if I ever have a client that really couldn't cope with it, I'll say, that's fine, just tell me, we can stop, we can finish the treatment, and you just go and sit on the toilet. And I can honestly say, hand on heart, in nearly 7 years now of doing it, I've only ever had one client that actually said, no, this is too weird, you need to stop. And that lady was as calm as a cucumber when she came in, so relaxed and chilled, unbelievable. No worries, no concerns, chatting through a consultation, calm as anything. 10 minutes into the treatment, she was just like, nope, I can't do this, you need to stop. So we did, we just stopped and we let her go downstairs and sit on the toilet, and that was that. So a bit disappointing on my part, because I've never had somebody not feel they can relax in my presence. So I felt a little bit disheartened from a therapist point of view, but obviously the client's wishes, we have to respect those, and they're the most important person. So I have to make sure I do what keeps the client happy. But thankfully, most of my clients that I have are lovely and give me really lovely feedback, which is amazing. So, because I love my job, as weird as that sounds, I do love it.
And that is why you're good at it.
Oh,
and that's why people feel relaxed here. It makes all the
thank
difference.
You.
know, same with me when you come and eat Swedish kitchen. I love what I do, and people say, oh, when you cook the food, even though we cook exactly the same food, me and my staff, they say it tastes different. Because I put my energy into it, and I love, you know, every meal matters to me.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it does make a difference when you put your energy into it.
Oh no, absolutely, 100%, 100%, totally agree with that. I think when you're really passionate about something and you really love what you do, I mean, for me, this isn't a job. This is not a job. This is, I love doing what I do. When I tell people what I do for a living, they're very often like, oh, that is gross kind of thing. How can you do that all day? And it's like I say to people, it's not just about cleansing someone's colon. It's the whole conversation you have with your clients. It's getting them to relax. It's hearing their stories. It's hearing everything that, you know, people pour their heart out to you. They really, really do on this couch. Obviously, everything is completely confidential, I have to say. But I feel really honoured that people feel they can open up to me and bare their soul to me, really, you know, and tell me things. I've had lots of tears, I've had lots of laughter with clients, you know, and that's important. And I'm sure when people come into your Swedish kitchen, they do the same, don't they?
They like the banter,
laugh
like to talk, and they like to see me, and it does.
Makes the whole difference, doesn't it? Makes the whole experience great, and that's why people keep coming back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Oh, that's lovely. We're almost done here. Almost.
Yeah. A couple more minutes, and then we'll get you unhooked, and then you can go and sit on the toilet. Remember to pop your feet on that little footstool down there, won't you, when you do?
I remember last time I came here, you said go home and there might be a little bit, the scraps will come out.
Yeah.
And he literally was that. I went to the toilet and it was like a little firecracker, and then, you know, and that was it. There was nothing left in there.
One important thing to do, I always say to clients, because they always worry about the journey home after colonic, what if I'm going to have an accident in the car? So the key is, when you've had, wear a nappy. So when you finish your treatment and you go and sit on the toilet downstairs, so I say to clients, when you think you've finished, just stand up for a couple of minutes, give your tummy a little bit of a rub, and then sit back down again. And if there's anything higher up to be released, it will then work its way down and around, and then you know you're safe to get dressed and you're quite safe for your journey home. And I've never had a client ever have an accident on the way home. And hopefully, Henrik, you won't do that.
Someone's going to be the first one.
Hopefully not.
Oh.
There we go, let that out. And that tummy feeling all good, yeah?
Yeah, good.
Brilliant. A little bit more stool just come out there then.
You reckon everything came out? Almost?
I would say pretty much, yeah. Yeah, he had a really, really good cleanse today. It was a really good one. Very, very good.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Good.
Yeah.
Honestly, on the way here, I don't know why, I've come home and I felt really anxious and this and that, you know, and I'm not normally that kind of person.
Why?
And Milla's like, do you need a good cry? I'm like, I probably do. You know, when you just feel like you need something.
Yeah.
But I reckon this was it. I reckon I just needed a good cleanse, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go home and have a good cry as well, and then that'll be it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, when people do have a good detox, a good cleanse, it is an emotional thing. You do, and like I say, you do release a lot of pent-up emotions as well, you know. And let's be honest, you have been through a tough time the past few months, obviously losing your dear old dad, and then I saw on
yeah, it's actually 1 year exactly on the 5th. So and
Millie
said like your body remembers these kind of things.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You know, and he was a big part of your life, wasn't he? Bless him. You know, and a great character. So you are going to miss him.
Yeah.
And it takes time, really, doesn't it? You know, it's hard when you lose someone dear to you. It really is.
Cycle of life, though, isn't it? It's the cycle of life, but it is hard. It's hard.
Yeah. It is.
Ooh, fine. Thank you, Susan. That was lovely.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome. Just sit on the couch and then you can put yourself down.
I'm going to give this a pause, guys, and I'm going to make this a really long video for tomorrow. And then get your popcorn ready. Anything you want to say, the last bits?
No. Lovely to meet everybody out there. Come in, have a cleanse. It really is a game changer. Honestly, you won't regret it. If you've got any bowel or digestive issues, colonics are the thing. They really, really are. And it's nothing to be afraid of or feel embarrassed about. So get yourself booked in.
Boom. Oh my God, I feel like I'm top of the world, mateys. Oh, I was flying down the stairs. I'm flying now, I feel like. Probably about 5 kilos lighter. Oh my goodness. Some stuff came out there. I'm not going to gross you out too much, but the video will be there tomorrow. Actually, I made a long video. I made about 45-minute long video where we give you all the goody health tips. Obviously, I'm going to shorten it up for you sweetie pies. But then I'm going to also post the full video for the people who actually have problems with their bowel movements and all kinds of problems. And we will give you all the goody tips. Alright guys, I'll see you later.